Sharon and welcome to NCBI's Fundamentals in Assistive Technology e-learning video. Now this course is designed to demonstrate and highlight the importance and the use of assistive technology for people with sight loss in education, employment and in all walks of life. Now today we're going to be looking at Braille displays and Braille note takers, and I'm joined by the man himself, NCBI's technical team leader, Stuart Lawler. Hello Stuart, how are you?
Sharon, how are you? Lovely to see you again.
Very nice to see you. Now I'm very, very excited, Stuart, because this is an absolutely fantastic course, but you're going to be talking about Braille technology. Talk us through these machines.
Yeah, Braille technology, one of my passions, I suppose, Sharon. There is no doubt that Braille and the way in which Braille is being used has expanded and indeed has developed over the last few years, and many people may have thought that Braille was a dying art because of technology. In fact, we would very strongly argue within NCBI that Braille is complementing technology. So what we have here today is we have two Braille devices, Braille displays, Braille note takers, as you said. The device in front of me here is called a Braille Note Touch. And it's essentially a Braille tablet, Sharon. So if you can imagine your standard tablet, it has a little, I suppose, a bar here at the bottom with what we call a Braille display. And that's where your Braille dots, your electronic refreshable Braille dots will pop up so that a blind person can read it. It's an Android tablet. So Android is a very popular operating system made by Google. And that's the operating system that runs many of your smartphones and tablets. So it's a mainstream operating system, which is really important.
Like the way technology is moving as well, Stuart, it is incredible that for people with sight loss, it's imperative to have these machines because they're such an aid, aren't they?
Well, they're essential. I would argue that, so as somebody who's totally blind and who's been working for nearly 20 years now, I would not have been able to work. I would not be where I am today. I would not be doing what I'm doing were it not for technology.
Very good. And you were saying that people with learning Braille, that it could be a dying breed, but it's not. It's really enhancing and everything's working alongside each other.
Well, absolutely. And, combinations of access methods are what we would generally advocate, and in particular in relation to Braille, Sharon, and for people in education, literacy, the joy of reading, the joy of being able to pick up a book, silent reading is a really important thing. But it's also important when you're looking at the future, you're looking at transitioning, going on to further or higher education, and ultimately, hopefully, to being able to work and contributing to the world and to society, and being able to read and having those key literacy skills are crucial in order for that to happen.
There's a real sense of equality then in the workplace with tools like these.
Yes, absolutely. And again, I suppose the fact that you can go into a meeting with a device like this, put it on the table, maybe get an email from a colleague who's using obviously a standard, maybe Android tablet, and sends it to your Android tablet, which happens to have a Braille display attached to it.
Brilliant. So let's talk about this machine. Show me how to use it.
Okay, so I have the Braille Note turned on. I actually have the word processor open. These devices have all sorts of applications built in. They have word processors, emails, web browser, it has a calendar, it has a media player, and indeed you can, because it's an Android device, you can install applications from the Play Store. So again, we're back to this mainstream idea. But here we are, I have the word processor open, and this device has a Braille keyboard. So the Braille alphabet is made up of 6 dots. Here's my 6 keys, my space bar, and at the left and right here I have a backspace key and an enter key. So I can start typing here.
This is a test for the Braille Note Touch.
So it's great that it reads it all out to you as well as you go.
Exactly, and it's highly customizable. So it reads as I go. I was brailing quite slowly there because I wanted to let you hear it, but I could switch that verbal feedback off if I wished. So I mightn't necessarily want it to read everything to me, because if I'm a competent Brailleist, I know what I'm reading. If I'm not and I'm just learning, this is absolutely ideal.
So Stuart, what's really exciting about this is it's very high tech indeed. Show us what it can do.
Yeah, so obviously it has a Braille keyboard, as we mentioned, but and this is very new in the Braille note-taking realm. The keyboard can actually remove Sharon's little ledge here, or latch, which I can take up. And actually this keyboard is part of the carrying case, so we can remove the tablet altogether and have no keyboard if we wish. Now I have exposed a touch screen. So this is now, I mentioned before, it's an Android tablet with a Braille display at the bottom. It's now a touch screen, but I can type on this touch screen. I can simulate the key presses I would have just used on the keyboard, but on a touch screen. So let's try and do this. I'm going to put all my fingers on the screen to calibrate calibrate the screen.
This is so high-tech. Kids would love this as well. It's just so futuristic.
Yeah, and now I've calibrated the screen. I had a little vibration under my fingers, and now I'm going to type something. So we'll say, hello, Sharon.
Hello. Ingaran.
Oh, try that again.
Sharon. How are you today?
Very good.
The significant advantage to something like this, to that method of Braille input, it's a lot more quiet. If we had that voice off or we were wearing a pair of earphones, you wouldn't know that I'm typing. If I was in a lecture or I'm in a meeting, or you're in an environment where you don't want to draw attention to clicking sounds from a physical keyboard, this type of input is really good. It's not for everyone, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to, but it's really, really good.
It's so interesting that, because especially for students, anybody in employment, these kind of devices are phenomenal.
Yeah, I think for people who are at a position where they need to be able to make notes, where they need to be able to quickly access information, and crucially, if Braille is your first medium, like print is yours, if Braille is someone's first medium, then they should be able to access the information they need in that format, in the format where they are most comfortable.
So a device like this is very portable, which is so easy. Bring it around, bring it to work, bring it to college, bring it to school, have it at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it's an Android device, it will sync with all your services. So your Google services, your email, your calendars, they're all connected. This has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth. It's a fully featured tablet.
And to talk to me about this one here, now we have another device.
Yes, the device on my left is called the Braille. This is actually really interesting. It's a very new device. It's a combination of two devices, actually. This bottom part here is a Braille display, a Focus Braille display, and it clicks into a little docking station, which makes it into a fully functional Windows computer. So on this I have my Windows 10 operating system, my Microsoft Office suite, all my work documents. I put it over my shoulder, bring it to meetings. I enter text here on the Braille keyboard, and I have speech and Braille feedback if I wish. And it also can be used to control multiple devices. So if I'm sitting in a meeting, writing an email, and my phone beeps, I get a text, I can flick a switch on the Braille display, so now it's controlling my phone. I read my text, I respond if I need to, and I come back to my email.
So it's all high-tech, totally connected.
It's totally connected, but it's also totally, I suppose, it's totally portable, and makes, again, that communication piece very instant.
Stuart, for somebody who has been blind all their life, how important is this kind of a technology for you on a day-to-day?
Well, for me, I don't think I could work without it. It's liberating to be able to go somewhere, and I've often been in meetings and I may not have received a document, or something is being passed around in print, and someone says, Stuart, I'll email it to you, and I get it instantly on my Braille device, and I can read along at the same time as people are seeing it in print. There's something really great about that. We're living in an age now where information is key, and information is very readily available. We just need to I suppose make people aware of the technology and make sure that the technology can work for us and give us what we need.
Well, we've heard it there now from our technical team leader, Stuart Lawler. I hope you've got so much from today's demonstration. Look forward to seeing you next time.